John Batchelor. Gordon Chang is here with me. Steve Herman. We hope to be able to reach him later on in the program. If not, we'll watch him very carefully on TweetDeck. I recommend all of you to use it to watch Steve as he moves around in the crisis zone, the zone of concern outside of Fukushima nuclear generating plant. Gordon, I want to back up a little bit, because we're consuming news, and we just talked to somebody who's at a point where it's important for him to have the best information there is. And he's North Asia Bureau Chief for the Voice of America, a critical component for communicating around the world. And Steve is very thorough and very careful. I've followed him since the North Korean incident. My sense is that he is not getting complete information, and he's putting together with great skill the information he has. He has to sleep, he has to eat, but in any event, from last night when it was too hot to fly to tonight when it's okay for the 2 helicopters, I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sense that they're making this up and that they don't give out good information because they don't have it.
25 hours ago, when they evacuated the 50 plant operators, it was apparent that the situation was out of control. The radiation was going up, and apparently the operators were having little influence on what was going on. Now they're back on site, radiation is down, things are better, but these 4 helicopter drops of ocean water is desperate. I mean, we saw, 2 days ago when they were pumping seawater into these reactors, people called that a Hail Mary type of maneuver. This is even worse when they're taking water, scooping it up, flying over the reactors and dumping it down. I don't know what happens if this doesn't work.
I have from Stratfor notice, this comes from Kyoto, which is the major news service in Japan. They're saying that the helicopters dropped water on Fukushima Daiichi reactor number 3. We know, we just heard from Steve, that there were 3 drops on number 3, and that the fuel in number 3, that was online when the earthquake hit, and they took it offline immediately. So that's an active core. That might have an unusual mix in it, including plutonium. So they're concerned about that being exposed to the air. This Kyoto release, and this is case in point, does not mention the 1 drop on number 4, the spent fuel, that may have been exposed at some point in the last 24, 48 hours, because there was a fire there that was put out 24 to 48 hours ago. That's what I mean about not getting, I don't have confidence in this information. It's piecemeal. It doesn't tell the whole story. And I'm not faulting them. They might not have the whole story. But when we don't have information, we're out of control.
Yeah, they're certainly out of control. The number 3 reactor is significant because there was a breach of the containment vessel, the vessel that holds the reactor. Now that's the second breach that we've seen over the last, 72 hours. That means 2 of those reactors are exposed to the air.
It's solvable. It's an engineering problem. Steve pointed to the possibility of getting electric generating power in there within this next day. That'll begin to use the pumps again to solve some of this, a piece at a time. We're going to Hong Kong next to report on who was at the battle zone 24 hours ago. Gordon Chang, I'm John Batchelor.